Vintage coming in sideways.
Vintage, classic, 26 part coming in sideways.
Actually coming in sideways. On
Literally coming in ass first.
Right.
Breach Birth is the name of our
Breach Birth coming in sideways. Breach Birth.
So Byram and I sort of trailed off talking about iced coffee for about 10 minutes.
Oh, jealous! I love it.
No, we were, and you can appreciate this. We were talking about how today's trick fuck weather like throws you for a loop if you've made the switch from ice to hot.
Oh yeah, totally. I haven't made the full switch yet. Except I was on vacation, so I wasn't drinking that much iced coffee.
Yeah, I'm a little stressed out that we only have fucking 29 minutes for you to tell us all about your stay in Beverly Hills. So could you start talking maybe right now?
Well, I think the stories about Beverly Hills are just going to trickle out. It's going to be a little bit like some diarrhea, so I wouldn't really worry about it. You'll hear all the stories. But I do want to tell the story about how I got a baby puked in my eye on the flight home. And Oak and I were talking about this a little bit before the pod, and I was like, oh, this has definitely happened to you, right? And he's like, no. So I'm like, wow, I didn't realize it was so remarkable. But I was like holding him up.
It's been close.
Right. Like this was direct contact with eyeball. And the puke had very recently been in my friend's boob. So it's basically she like shot breast milk into my eye. But breast milk is really good for you. I feel like it's going to give me good vision in my left eye.
Superpowers.
What was the biblical story? I think it was Job. There was someone who looked up to the sky like a pigeon shat in his eye and he went blind. And then they were like, the only thing that'll cure it is rubbing the pigeon's gallbladder in your eye. So that's
digging deep.
Yeah, well, that's kind of hereditary. So to cure your blindness, you have to have one of Molly's nipples up on your eye. I think that'll take
fine. It's fine. We're there. We just spent 6 days together. Yeah, we just spent 6 days together.
I woke up the other day. First of all, why Jen Savage, aka listener, thinks it's okay to text people on a weeknight at 1 a.m. I have no idea. But I woke up to a text message yesterday that said, "Holy shit, Liz is cuddling with a baby by a pool." I was like, thanks, Jen. And I log in and sure enough.
The way she put it to me last night was, she goes, "You're half naked spooning a toddler." And it didn't even occur to me that it was weird. I just thought it was such a cute moment. And then, as of course, Jen Savage, the way she puts it, makes me realize, oh, I'm on another watch list now, which is great. It's exactly what I'm going for.
The thing is,
definitely on a toddler spooning watch list.
It was a really good photo. You should definitely use that. Yeah. Put that on your like Match.com profile and everything. Like, it really sells your best qualities.
Toddler spooning?
No, it's an ass. She's angled perfectly in the photo. You don't even notice there's a kid.
Bean, do we still have you? Oh, good gracious.
Jesus Christ.
Something must be done about this. So, Byram, let's... I wanted to talk to you in particular about something that happened to me while I was shitting at work.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So I was taking a nice peaceful dump, playing a game on my phone, and there was a guy, you could tell by the like foot shuffling and sort of plopping next to me, there was a guy in like, in mid-season form.
Yeah.
And another guy sort of barges in the bathroom door and like calls out his name and says, "Are you in here?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." And he starts talking to him through the stall door about this like meeting that they just had.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And it was like super uncomfortable. And so the guy finally goes from the stall next to me. He goes, "What? Stop talking to me. What are you doing?"
That's such a fucking rookie move.
Dude, it's like a fucking insane person move. Like, are you fucking 11? Have you never been in a shitter before? Like,
no, but you know what though? That starts when you're a teenager and you're in the bathroom at home and your mom comes to the door and she'll talk to you. She's like, "Are you coming down for dinner? Are you?" It's like, don't fucking talk to me. Get as far away from me as possible.
It's not right.
So you learn that early on. Like, don't talk to people when they're in that vulnerable of a state. Like, if I have something literally coming out of me, I don't want to talk.
Also, on a related note, I was shitting in the same bathroom, and a guy a few stalls down like farted super loudly, and whoever was like standing at the urinal started laughing hysterically.
You know, the weird thing is, that's another thing that I actually want to talk to you about last week. One of my coworkers, his name's Claude. He's actually like the most lovable guy. He's younger than me, but he has like full on like salt and pepper hair. We just call him Grandpa, you know. And he's like one of those kids, like dang kids, you know, like he just has that mentality, and he like walks around like as if he has like osteoporosis, you know. So I always joke around about Claude. I always tell people like, oh yeah, he eats like raw potatoes for breakfast, and like he'll grab a whole onion and just bite into it like an apple. So he has his persona, and he's fully embraced it, and he's actually like the most lovable person in my office. He comes into the bathroom the other day, and I was actually brushing my teeth, and he goes to the urinal, and we're having a conversation, and he just proceeds, as we're talking, to just fart. And I'm like, I understand like the bathrooms where you can feel free to fart, but like not mid-conversation with a coworker. Right? Like
Classic Claude.
like I feel like I've hung out with friends and, you know, farted and laughed about it, whatever. Liz, I definitely have done that to you.
You farted like on me, in my eye, on a flight.
You know you get sick that way.
Yeah, that's fucking fecal matter right there. That's more of a fear than Ebola, I would say.
Not through my genes. No fecal matter comes out. My dairy.
Yeah, I think it probably does.
Capture all
I
of
think it
it.
probably does.
Yeah, but he didn't break conversation. He's just like, yeah, so did you go to that meeting? He's like, "Argh." I'm like, Claude, how the fuck? First of all, I'm brushing your teeth. So I feel like I'm sucking your ass right
It
now.
is really gross that you were brushing your teeth and he farted, because that's like somebody flushing the toilet right near you while you're brushing your teeth.
That happens all the time, by the way. I always like am like
What?
leaning forward. I'm always leaning forward to flush the toilet, and so like I got like a full on face mist as I'm flushing.
Face mist, fecal matter. Oh, gross.
Oh, we're back, guys, listeners. We're back.
Yeah.
So
We're back.
we were talking when at one of the several times that you dropped off about doing one of those like GoFundMe's to get you like a Chromebook or something.
I was just thinking about that.
You need to
I
crowdsource
know.
this. They're like $250. I mean,
Yeah.
listeners, can we not
Exactly.
get this together?
We're gonna crowdsource.
I'm gonna
this.
ask for it for Christmas.
From
And by Christmas,
No, we have so
I'm
many
just gonna
pods
ask
to do
Mom
before
to give it to
Christmas.
me.
We have so many pods to do before Christmas.
yeah.
I know.
Actually, we're coming up on our anniversary, so are we gonna do like a big anniversary episode?
Yes. When's our anniversary?
November-ish, no?
Is it?
Oh.
Sweet. But how many episodes have we done?
1,000. I know for sure we were doing them in December, and I want to say our
Well,
first.
if you count the number of times that my computer kicks me off, I'd say it's probably around 10,000. Because
Yeah.
there's usually like 3 small episodes within every episode.
If only there were some way to look at all the episodes that we've done and see them.
Yeah, I'd get the exact tally number.
The first one I have here is January of 2014, January 5th.
That's not accurate because we had done a podcast in December where you guys told me about the War of Art. Because it was
Episode
Christmas.
001 called Stop Sucking is January 15th.
We may have started putting.
Did we
them on
immediately
episodes.
start?
The notes say the gang is learning how to use computers and making noises.
Oh, and they still are. It's exactly the same.
And then episode 2, I'm a genius, is called Don't Fart. And the note is the gang is starting to get the hang of it. Also bullying.
God,
You are a genius.
We were so lame a year ago. We talked
And
about
then
bullying.
episode 3 is called Sharing Sweatpants. The gang discusses
Well, I
all
don't
kinds
remember
of
any
stuff.
of this. You guys, I
It's not-
spread the gospel of the pod out to LA. I told Gwen Stefani about it. I saw Gwen Stefani at a tennis
Whoa.
tournament. I saw
If
her.
Gwen Stefani
I was
gives
like,
us
"Wow."
you, then we should just like stop before we ruin it.
Blow up so hard. Yeah, we should stop because we'll sell out way too quick.
So back on the topic du jour, Byram and I were going through, as is often the case, public restroom poop etiquette. We had a nice description about why you shouldn't talk to people in public restrooms while they're pooping, especially if you don't know them.
You should never talk to anyone while you're pooping. I
Right.
guess married couples do it, but I talk to babies while they're pooping all the
Yeah,
time.
we have boundaries in our house, unless
Yeah,
it's
they're
an emergency.
good. Good. I think it's really weird when people talk to each other while they're pooping.
Although, when you're home alone with a baby and you have to poop, you have to just leave the door open and leave her seat in the door of the bathroom, and she talks to you while you're
Have
pooping.
you heard that Louis C.K. about when he's pooping and his daughter's pooping and his son's all
daughter
pooping?
shits on the floor and then falls in it.
Yes. Yes.
It's such a great bit.
Yes.
It's so good.
So good. And everybody was shitting.
Anyway, that's good stuff. On the subject of my daughter pooping, there was a bit of a crisis in our house because she'd gone 10 days without pooping.
What?
Poop Watch 2014.
I know.
Oh, Bizzle, when I went to go visit her, she hadn't pooped in 5 days. Can you imagine
man.
such a thing?
Can you see the face that Byron made when he heard that? That was the face that Leah was making.
Can you?
Oh,
can babies not eat Activia?
No.
Well, so apparently,
And you can't give them coffee or cigarettes.
Ooh.
although I did suggest both.
Yeah.
Apparently, breast milk is a very sort of pure food, so they don't make a lot of waste, and it's common for them to go a while without pooping. But still, it gave Amy and I great consternation. But she's blown a gasket since then. She's had a couple of poops, so things have settled down. But I wanted you guys to know where we're at, wise.
I'm so glad.
In college, when I was a big-time smoker, it was such a natural cigarettes actually aren't natural, but it was such a laxative for me. My roommates hated me because I would shit on the toilet and smoke an ash in the tub, which was right next to me.
That is gross.
I've done that move.
It was the best morning routine. I'd have a coffee, a cigarette, go sit on the toilet, and just smoke 3 or 4 cigarettes and ash in the tub. And then, if I didn't shower and someone had to go in after me, not only did they have a fucking shit-stank bathroom, but they had, ashes all over the bathtub.
That is
a bathroom with a warm...
The hot, cigarette smoke-filled, shitty bathroom. That is, the greatest, miasma of, horror funk. You can't blow up a bathroom any harder than that.
Wait, I have to tell you guys actually.
Have you guys ever walked into a bathroom and the air is warmer after somebody pooped? I swear to God, this happens.
Yes. You feel like you're eating doo-doo bones.
Sometimes. Yeah, it's like you're behind a shit truck. You're just...
Oh, good times.
Wait, is Bean still on?
It looks like she kind of dropped off again, but she seems to figure out how to bounce off and on. So.
This is probably a better conversation for her not to be on for. I was at my buddy's house this past weekend, and I stayed over. I wound up passing out on the couch on Saturday night. I go to use the bathroom Sunday morning, and I guess his girlfriend might have been on the rag or whatever, and there was right at the front of the toilet seat, almost concealed from from the naked eye, was just blood. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to fucking have to clean this to use the bathroom, so I just didn't use the bathroom, and then use the bathroom at a fucking restaurant.
Ooh.
Because I was like, first of all, I really would like to use this, but I don't want to fucking go through the trouble of cleaning this toilet seat because I don't fucking know what the hell that is. And it couldn't have been anything other than dry blood.
That's brutal.
It was so bad.
Couldn't have been encrusted poop, because
No.
I've definitely been guilty of painting the underside of the toilet seat with backsplatter rooster tail.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You definitely get stuff under the lip, but not. I mean, if you're getting it from under the front lip of the fucking toilet seat, then you're literally pissing shit out of it.
But I'll see that and I'll raise you. What if it was a reverse cowboy?
Oh, you think so?
It could have been.
That's not a bad.
Why would anybody ever sit on the toilet backward, though?
Because you're reading a hardcover book.
Holy shit, that is internet gold.
Wow, I've never thought of doing that. You could even use the tank.
Because you're using your abacus, obviously. Yeah.
Because you're chopping onions and you glass surface.
Because you need to change your daughter. Why else?
Because you're serving coffee through a window in your bathroom.
I feel like this is a great BuzzFeed article.
Totally.
20 reasons why you'd shit reverse cowboy.
Yeah. That's so good.
I've really never thought of sitting that way. I'm going to.
Yeah, try it out. It's it's probably not something you're gonna do all the time, but it's a surprisingly refreshing change of pace.
Dude, the back of the toilet is such an underutilized flat surface. I can't believe I never thought of it.
It is.
We all live in the city. Everybody needs more surfaces.
You put a cutting board back there, and like you can do all
Yeah.
your kitchen prep.
Absolutely. You could like pickle stuff back there.
Think about how much better people would be. Think about how much better people would be at correspondence. Like you
Right.
could write letters.
Yeah, just set up a fucking tablet back there for sending out emails. Although people do that on the front.
No, not even a tablet. I'm talking about like a quill pen and some ink. You just start fucking scribing.
Put your beanbag ashtray back there so you can in the tub.
Yeah. Oh, I like it.
It's good.
I'm
time.
gonna take up knitting.
No, I just imagine myself sitting on it like a massage chair with my face full on in the tank as I'm shitting and falling asleep.
So on a related note, Amy and I bought another car.
No way.
Whoa!
Yeah. We bought
Fancy.
a 2012 Honda Civic.
Cool.
So
What color?
So wait, what's happening with the Lesboro?
Yes.
Oh, we're a 2-car family now.
Oh damn.
We're balling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good time. So we had to go to a used car dealership, and like we went to a couple, and we were like dealing with all the used car salesmen.
Were they all wearing like plaid polyester pants with like extreme comb overs?
No, but all the other kind of cliches you would think of, a lot of them like applied.
Were they wearing platform flip flops?
Yeah, a lot of platform flip flops. One guy had like a goldfish in his flip flops, but one was dead. So it was
Oh no!
It was one really sad like goldfish, and then one that was floating up at the top of the heel.
It's like my fit flops.
So
He might have just been sleeping.
he might have been sleeping upside down.
I think he was sleeping upside down, floating.
So
I
yeah,
thought when I
so
sleep.
it's like a lot of going into these places, and then the guy like kind of with a sweaty handshake that doesn't want you to leave without buying a car.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would I do that? Why would I just come to a car dealership to look around and end up buying a car? Like, I don't. Do you? I don't think I'm an idiot. Do you think I'm an idiot? Are we just going through the motions here, or is this a real thing that you think's going to happen? Like,
You know what though? That's something that I've learned later on in life. Like I swear to God, I've been conditioned to always think people are smarter than me or experts and stuff if I'm not an expert in it. So it starts with school, right? You go to school and you just assume your teacher knows more than you when you probably know more than your teacher in some instances, So I've got to learn to break free from that because I would walk into a dealership and be like, all right, I'm on this person's territory. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. When you really, like, you're dealing with someone who doesn't know their ass from their elbow, you know what I mean? So you really shouldn't give them any fucking credibility, but you do.
yes, you do, and they give you a. But I feel like one of the nice things about getting older is every year that your bullshit detector gets like way more acute. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
When like the car salesman's like telling you all the reasons that like the Hyundai is better than the Honda or whatever, and you're just like, you have no idea what you're talking about, and this is all bullshit. But like 5 years ago, I might have gone in for some of this crap.
Yeah.
I think that also has something to do with the level of comfort that you yourself have with bullshit. I think it's because I've started to become such a bullshitter now that I'm like, everybody else is obviously doing this too.
Well, I say, being a bullshitter is like an incredibly valuable skill. Like,
Right.
There's this one guy at work who he's like a brilliant like technologist. He knows tons of shit, but he also like has this boundless ability to just spew like a line of bullshit about things that like he may not have like the best understanding of, but he can sound like an expert just because he can like weave this like tapestry of like appropriate sounding verbiage.
Yeah.
And and he sells it, and he makes people feel comfortable. He can like get projects, get clients to feel better about things that maybe they actually kind of shouldn't. But whatever,
Right. Yeah.
and we all end up getting the work done. We figure it out, whatever. But like in front of it is this ability to like talk about things that maybe you don't have as firm a grasp on as you'd like to let on. So
That was like when I went
learn
to
that.
Italy. When I went to Italy with Sue V, she didn't know. I like was working really hard, like studying the Italian, but like so nervous to actually speak any Italian that I like nobody could understand what I was talking about. But the woman that I went there with, Sue V, just spoke Spanish with an Italian accent, but she did it really confidently, and everybody completely understood everything she was saying, and she was able to like really adequately communicate herself. I was like, what the fuck? But it was just because she did it confidently.
Also, her name was fucking Sous Vide. If someone says the name Sous Vide talks to me, I
Sous
must
vide.
everything they say too. Isn't that a way to cook?
Yeah. Yes, sous vide. It's
Also,
like vacuum
how
sealed.
often do you think Sue
But
was
she-
talking to dudes who would be nodding, no matter what
Yeah,
she said?
that's basically it too.
She
But
could
it
be
doesn't matter.
screaming-
That's bullshit too.
She could be screaming profanities, and
Let's
then
be honest, Italians don't even know how to speak Italian.
Yeah.
They just go, hey, the hey. So it's all,
Hey, it's
That's exactly what it was. She's like, hola, ¿qué pasa?
hey, que se beach, huele beach. That means, what do you say, dick sniffer?
Say that again.
Que se beach, huele beach.
That's
That's actually
awesome that it
no,
rhymes.
that's Italian and Spanish. So que se beach is like, what do you say? And then huele bicho means to smell dick. So it's que se beach, huele beach.
I love it.
But the thing is, in all honesty,
Got
like Italians don't really know what the fuck they're talking about either. The gabagool,
No,
the
that's
mozzarella. It's like you can fucking say anything you want. They're just like, yeah, whatever that guy said. The I agree with you guys though, because I feel like I'm a really great bullshitter, but I'm also a total fucking people pleaser. So it doesn't work to my advantage. Like I can't bullshit my way out of things because at the root of it, I want people to like me. So that I also try to be like if I was at a car dealer and I was waiting for you to look at a car, and then they're like, "Oh, well, you look like a woman who would like a Subaru," and I'm like, "Yeah," and then I wouldn't want to tell them that I'm not a woman or that I'm not looking for a car. So next thing you know, I'd be taking it for a test drive, and then finding out this is why I can't buy it today, versus just being like, "Listen, I don't want this fucking car. I came for the free coffee," you know.
Yes, and the at car dealerships, you can tell how obviously biased they are against women.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
like, don't respect women in car dealerships. Like Amy and I were both there together, and they were treating me like I was obviously the decision maker of the group. You know what I mean? Like it was, of course, like Amy has tons of opinions and
Right.
things to say, whatever. But they always were like directing everything at me. I mean, it to the point where they were almost like showing Amy the mirrors in the visor kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Little did they fucking know who they were dealing with.
I know.
Right?
Amy can dismantle and reassemble a car in 15 minutes.
Amy was forklifting cars into the fucking garage with her bare hands. She was
Right.
lifting them. She's like, I'm going to change a tire on this one while you ignore me. You know what it
And
might
Leah
be?
was there.
Well, that's
and
it.
Amy thinks.
Was Amy breastfeeding Leah? Because that's probably why they avoided eye contact with her.
Yeah.
That's one thing that Amy likes to do is like do the football hold with like just topless and like with the baby latched on, and then like give people the ice grill and just like stare them down.
Yes.
It's pretty intimidating.
Dude, my friend Molly does that now. She's on her second child and she's breastfeeding. We were at Disneyland and she just fucking pops that shit right out and
Yeah.
like will make eye contact with you if you like give her any sort of a look. It's like I don't like at this point, who gives a shit?
It's sort of, and Amy's getting that way too. Unless you have sort of a stated preference for
Right.
Amy mostly doesn't care. Like she has this like cover, but it's like hot and a fucking pain in the ass, and like who gives a shit anyway? Everyone's
Yeah.
a bunch of assholes. If you
Who
don't
gives
like
a
it,
shit?
a
Everybody
dick.
looks at fucking porn. All the movie stars have their it's her nipples covered. That means it's not even vulgar at all. Who cares?
And the baby's eating. I mean,
Exactly. The baby's fucking eating.
please.
Yeah.
The only time it makes me uncomfortable is when the woman has really long nipples. Like my aunt used to do it. Growing up, my cousin was just a few years younger than me, and I remember my aunt just like constantly like family events just whipping out her tit to feed her kid, and it looked like she was gonna fucking gag the kid with her like long ass hot dog nipples. And I'm like, listen, if you're gonna do it discreetly, that's all on you. But if you got weird looking nipples, then fucking cover them.
Well, so have you ever seen a breast pump in action?
Yeah.
Oh, it's really violent.
Yeah, it's very violent. It's very loud. It's like a weird, gross machine, and the nipple goes like 2 inches into the thing.
Yeah.
You're like, wow,
It's weird.
I did not know that was like a thing. It's weird.
Yeah, the suction power causes like the whole little like cup to be filled up with the nipple. It's really weird. It's really weird.
Well, not many people know this. Maybe you guys do, but I have 3 nipples.
So do I.
Do you really?
Well, my third thing isn't really a nipple. It's just like a big freckle. But I'm reading a book about those Salem witch trials, and it's definitely like a flag for a witch. It's like a witch flag, basically.
Mine is a legit nipple. Like it has like the little teat thing on it.
Does it have the areola? Does it have an areola?
Well,
See,
not
mine
really.
is like a nipple too, but it's missing an areola.
Is there a way to make money from this?
I thought about it.
I don't know.
But it looked like a little dent because because I'm fat, I have like my tits and then I have a roll and then I have my stomach, right? So on the right side of the roll below my right tit, there was always like a little gray area that had like a little bit like a pimple look to it, and so it's like a tiny nipple.
Yeah, I have one of those too. You and I have discussed this. I actually showed you my third nipple once in the snack room at Turninger. I think I was drunk, or at the Ladders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Sheila Marcella was there.
So, Bean, let's get back to your original point. Do you think that you might be a witch?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I think being a witch was more socio-political than anything. It was basically all the dudes just wanted to burn any like financially independent woman at the stake so that they could take her money.
Oh,
that's
right.
sad.
You know what you were gonna talk about too is that you're a misandrist now. You like hate dudes.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we were
That's
out
a
one
popular
night.
opinion on Twitter, I should say.
What?
Can I just say how fucking happy I am that we're back to potting because this is the best conversation I've been in fucking 90 days.
Go ahead.
Well, so we were in LA, and there was like a wedding at the hotel we were staying at, and all these dudes came out in their tuxes, and they were like getting their pictures taken by the pool, and Molly's like, oh, isn't that cute, isn't that cute? I'm like, no, I hate them all. I think they all look like rapists. And I realized that I hate all men in large groups together, which makes me realize I think I just hate all individual men. And I'm going to talk to my therapist about it in like 5 minutes. Isn't that a weird realization that I've been like trying to like, and I don't like women either, and so I might just be, I don't know, I might have a problem. I think I just need to fix the fact that I hate men.
So
I shouldn't hate all men, right? A lot of men are nice.
No, but it's easy to hate anything in a large group. Like in college, did you ever have groups of Asians in the cafeteria, and you're just like, ew, go sit somewhere
and
else.
I definitely hate groups of Asians. And these guys were like, were definitely from like Connecticut or something, and definitely looked like the type of dude who like probably raped a girl in college, but then like talked her out of it later. They all had their like hair parted on the side, and it was all like slick.
Oh, so they were
I think I was
they were
meeting these
all
guys.
people like Sarah Wykes from the Ladders, right?
Yes, basically,
Yeah.
but
So-
like less like
I think that
less comfortingly fat.
I think that is like tribalism. Like I think that's the same reason that I like hate Jets fans or that you hate just that's like how people do genocides because the human mind has this ability to like label somebody as like other and then to like dehumanize them. And I think like sometimes you like associate certain traits, especially if the traits are like common to a group.
Yeah.
If you start to feel like that group is like someone other than you or hostile to you, your brain can like encapsulate them into like this other that you can hate and that you can kill, so that your tribe can go and kill them all and take their shit, and then you can have their stone tools, and you know what I mean? It's like this horrible little thing, this like survival mechanism that we've had that allows us to like slaughter the other tribe in our like area.
Yeah, because like one time when I was living in New York, some dude with like slicked hair and like a fake part like pretended that he liked me, but then he like didn't like me, and now I hate all dudes that look like that, and I want to kill all of them because I'm just trying to protect myself.
Right, but that's like a reptilian like part of your brain. Not that it's like not a real thing, and not that we don't all do it like all the time. But it's something to like I think it really is, and you know whatever. Your therapist might tell you the same thing.
But it also makes you feel like you just don't belong. Like it's like when you're when you're new to a job or new to school, you assume everyone knows what they're doing, everyone's got their shit together, everyone likes each other, and you're the one person who's standing out. And then as you start to meet people, you're like, okay, they hate that person too, they hate coming here. So you start realizing there's individual personalities, you start to like them. The only group of people that I like really enjoy seeing is black women. Like if I see them in a group,
Yeah.
like literally my heart's aflutter. If I see any other group of people, I don't like them. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
But that's
and I
the
guess
same
I,
thing.
I
I think
realize it's. I don't think all these men are like actually evil. It's just I had a visceral reaction to it, and I'm trying to figure out how to fix it, basically, because it's like I ultimately want to like meet a man and marry him, but at this point, like most men, talking to them makes me throw up in my mouth because of all of this like this stuff I have from before even ever having met them.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's fair.
I mean,
Just-
I don't think it's unhealthy to like view a group of dudes, especially like young dudes, as like someone that you might want to avoid. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
Like young guys like getting together and like going out and getting wasted or something. Like that is like, it's not usually the best situation where you would encounter dudes. You know what I mean?
Especially if they're
Yeah,
wearing
and I see
Duke
them just like
lacrosse
turning to
jerseys.
each other and like saying things, and I'm like, I
mean,
know they're
listen,
saying horrible things about women.
I'm gonna say something. Like, listen, like things like this, like prejudices that you have, like racism, like whatever it is, like whatever reason that you have to like prejudge a group of people or a person, it's maybe not always like the best thing to do, but there's a reason why it happens.
Right. Exactly.
You make these determinations like based on patterns that you've observed in your life, and like it's real. And like people are gonna tell you like, you know, you have to judge everyone individually and you have all this other stuff, but at the end of the day you actually have to like go through your life and live, and you have to like make quick like assessments about situations that you're in. And if you walk into a situation where it's like a bunch of drunk dudes in tuxedos, it's fair to prejudge that potentially it's a situation that you don't like, or it's a group of people that you don't like. And you know what? If you're wrong, okay. You know,
Okay. I
what's
missed
the
an
big deal?
experience to hang out with some drunk dudes in tuxedos.
Well, you know what it is?
No.
It's like it could be best described by a Sandra Bullock movie, which is like how most of my life lessons are described. Where in Crash, where she's walking with her husband, played by Brendan Fraser, and they see a group of black guys, and she tenses up, and he's like, "Don't worry," and then they wind up like robbing them and stealing their car, and then she tells them, she goes, "I had the right to be scared, and you didn't want to do anything about it, and look what happened to us." And it's like, you know, you trust your instinct. My instincts are wrong about 99% of the time, which is why I'm in the state that I'm in today, which is fat, broken, old, and lonely, and sad.
Yeah.
And fat.
And I think the important thing is to realize that like those instincts that you have about things are based on so much more than just what those people look like. You know, it's just it's the way you get a feeling from a certain like
it's pattern
group of
recognition.
people.
It's everything. It's smell, it's sound, it's lighting.
It's pattern recognition. It's like the fundamental like basic like human like interpersonal processing system. It's like you pick up on like little cues that you don't even realize, body language, like dress, and you know the timbre of somebody's voice. Like if people's voice sounds elevated and excited, you make assumptions about their like state. It's pattern recognition, and it's like an ancient survival mechanism. And like, okay, sometimes it leads you to like making dickish conclusions, but it also can protect you. And you know, it's not something to be dismissed. So if you dislike a group for some reason, you should like critically evaluate why that is, but you shouldn't ignore that instinct.
Right, exactly.
Also, you know what I was thinking of the entire time you described those guys is your friend Ross.
Right. If I saw him on the street with a bunch of his friends, I would probably not trust any of those people and want all of them to sort of like die screaming. But you know, I know Ross is not a bad dude. So as you say that, it's true. I think that like the pattern does not always hold, but worth paying attention to.
Right, and when you have to make judgments quickly, and sometimes in life you do, then that's what you use. But you know, you give people a chance if you feel like you can safely do so. Exactly. So I don't know, but anyway.
I gotta go, guys.
All right.
I'll tell you.
Let's do this again as soon as we possibly can.
I can do it tomorrow morning.
I cannot. I can't do it again until next week. But anyway, we'll talk offline.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Peace.